This episode is brought to you by Black Eye Vodka, the world's only vodka made with black-eyed peas from farm to table in Fort Worth, Texas. You can check them out at blackeyed.vodka. What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the Pathways to Success podcast. On the show today, we have Ronald Davis Sr., and he is the founder of Davis Integration Group, LLC, the executive director of Optimum Prep Student Athlete Development, and the founder of this incredible event we're in attendance at today, Monopoly Business Impact Night. Originating in Fairfax, Virginia, Davis Integration has been in operation since 2012, working within 17 states with over 25,000 hours of community service, impacting 1,000 kids per year through their community initiatives and programs. Bridging the gap between corporate and community growth has allowed him to manage and work with various levels of executives from nonprofits to Fortune 500s. Ron, welcome to the Pathways to Success, man. How are you?
Hello, man. Thank you for having me. It's definitely glad to have you here. It's a great day. There's a lot of folks here, man, and I'm just really excited and blessed to be living this little moment.
Yeah, man, and I appreciate you reaching out. And you are the busiest man in the world today, man. How's the event coming together?
Well, you know, like anything, nothing's gonna be perfect, but it's going smoothly. You know, what we can control is being controlled. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah. Well, you're like the calmest dude under pressure I think I've ever seen, man.
Well, I guess what it appears to be and what it actually feels like on the inside at this moment are pretty much the same. But
yeah.
I think when you do anything, like when you jump off that cliff, you either have to be calm or while you're falling, you're going to, pass out or something, like those little videos we see on TV. So I'm pretty much like this all the time.
You're like this all the time? Yeah, I was about to say, is this something that you've learned or kind of a natural predisposition?
Acquired taste. Trials and tribulations have molded me over time in life, which made it a little bit easier to deal with when it came to business. Yep. So, we have such a social impact in DIG that nothing is like it should be. So every day is frustrating, whether we're talking about kids, whether we're talking about business, social, economic issues, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Nothing is perfect. So you got to be calm if you're going to be able to help other people be calm.
So let's kind of get into that. So you do a lot of different things. So when you meet people for the first time and tell your story, like, where do you start, man?
For me, I tell them what I'm doing.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of things that we deal with in life or business or whatever is more assumed. It's all estimated since there are no guarantees in business. Yeah. So I try to tell what I'm doing and what I feel will happen from that. And I think that lightens the mood with most people, because then it's like, okay, whatever they may assume or feel from there will come off of factual thoughts, opposed to just kind of, hey, this is what I'm working on. This is what I think can happen. So I've developed that over time. And now it's just second nature.
And what do you say that you do?
So I create change. I create opportunity. I don't do anything on my own, but I feel like I get enough people involved that we do it together. And collaboration is something that I preach so heavy that I have to show it. So when you think about all the things that are going on, you think about all the people that are here. Mm-hmm. It's not me. It's really them that make this so valuable. Because if it was just me, then it would just be one belief. But all of these people that are here believe in this. So I think that's you can't really express that any other way.
And you have some incredible people here right now. Can you share with just a few of the business and city leaders that are coming to this event?
Yeah. So this is something I came to Dallas 8 months ago. I came from Wichita. I just tore my Achilles. And so when I made that switch, it was just like, man, here I am, half paralyzed. I got a little bitty baby calf, and I'm about to go to one of the most up-and-coming cities in the nation. And I just hit the ground running. Everything that I do, the type of people that are here, you got Hal Wasson. He's the athletic director over the entire city of Irving. Wow. So every event that I've ever hosted, I've always tried to have some kind of community initiative that was directly in the center of that community, whether it's with a prominent nonprofit or it be some type of individual like Hal who the city's on his back. It's the type of things that he's there to do is about change. So having somebody like Hal here is amazing, especially as an educator. And then on the corporate side, man, you have some CFOs and some SM Wright is here. Yeah. We got the city police department. We have them here represented. We got a couple different banks, app developers, different type of innovators. And I don't know if you can get that on a Wednesday night anywhere else.
When I saw the names, I was like, you have an incredible ability to mobilize all of these leaders.
Yes, sir.
And you're new to Dallas?
Super new.
And
We're
how-
just scratching the surface today.
So how did that happen? How did you get plugged into all these people?
Well, Optimum Prep is literally that. It prepped me for this.
Yeah.
The only way that I've been able to help kids in all of these different places has been because of corporate social responsibility. And with me, networking is everything. But I personally don't like networking because we go into it with a real basic mindset approach, and kind of what we're doing is kind of, it's real mundane. So for me, I was like, I went to everything you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
I went to everybody's event, whether it was 6 people there or it was 6,000 people there. And through that, man, God gave me the ability to be diverse and understand what culture really needs. And with that is what you see here, man. You see every type of person, every type of race, religion, political. None of that matters because we're here because of business and we're here because of social change.
So all of this is for your nonprofit or your for-profit?
This
What
is for
this?
the for-profit. So DIG is an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started about 7 years ago, I jumped in nonprofit, listening to the people that were there before me.
Yeah.
And the negative of that was what was already laid didn't fit what I was here for, And so going the nonprofit route and doing that's charity in a sense.
Sure.
And when you think about charity, I don't think about everybody giving their 100%. I think about, what I got time for, what I can fit into my schedule. It's secondary. So I had to jump into it and learn the hard way that wasn't what I wasn't trying to accomplish charity. And so business-wise, when I went LLC, I had to get the charitable mindset out of my repertoire and really become more aggressive. And that's what really triggered things. I had to start making business deals to get stuff done for the kids.
Yeah.
To get things for them, whether we're talking about shirts or we're talking about tuition for the program. It was all about negotiating that, opposed to, hey, do you want to help this event and do this and do that? No, let's market it this way. Let's brand it this way. Let's talk about things that actually benefit your business. And at the end of the day, if you provide this for these kids, then we all win.
Oh, okay. So now it makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So this is okay. So what would you say is the purpose of this event?
The purpose of this event is to show and tell.
And again, this is called Monopoly Business.
Monopoly Business.
Impact Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Impact Night. So the thought about certain things is that at the end of the day, business and the game of Monopoly very similar. We want to control the block. We want to have everything that is available to us. And so business-wise, we roll the dice and we wake up every day and believe in our brands. We believe in our product. We believe in our services. And so that was the cohesion of Monopoly and business, in my opinion. And then from there, I like colorful things. So you throw a couple different colors in there. You throw a lot of diversity, like the game. There's things you win, things you lose. And the concept will hopefully run off into the night when this is all said and done.
And this is the 5th one you've done.
This is the 5th year.
5th year.
So this is how bad I am. And I don't want to say this in front of people that I have clientele with because I'm always pushing social media, but I personally hate social media.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to take a bunch of pictures. I don't want to create posts. I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm about social change.
Yeah.
All of this other stuff is a form of propaganda, in my opinion, of compared to what actually matters. So I just don't want to talk about it all the time. I'd rather be out there doing it. Like, I've spent hours. There was a point in time where I had to go to police stations, school districts, or what have you. I'd be in the office sitting there for 3-4 hours just to have a conversation with somebody, just to kind of tell them, hey, your school district is underachieving here. People don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how else are you going to change it unless you get told that you're messing up or that this is not leading to your goals? And that was what I did. I go to police departments. I talk about the social issues that were going on and how what they were doing wasn't really going to solve anything. But what we could do was have this type of event or have these type of folks involved, and we might get something solved. And we just started doing that in various cities until we got it right. Like, we've been to Baltimore, we've been to L.A., we've been to San Diego. Went to Oakland last year. Last year we went to about 12 cities from coast to coast. Next year, which is why we're also here, getting ready for 20. And none of that is easy, but we also, I don't feel like we've been successful. You know, I feel like we've just done it. We've been able to say we got it done, and nobody can take that from us. But as far as like change,
Yeah.
that takes money, that takes hands, that takes a lot of a lot of chiefs acting like Indians. You know, because we have to take different leaders that are
Yeah.
out here and get them to kind of be quiet and just kind of help,
Yeah.
opposed to lead. You know, and that they're not normally doing that. Getting pro athletes. We got Mark Clayton in the building. We got David Mims in the building. These guys have been around some of the most illustrious athletes in the world. Mark played with Ray Lewis, and we've I did some work with Ray Lewis a couple years ago, and so you get to a sense of where these different people are, and you know. Then the rest of it is just trial and error. Will it work? Will it not work? Is it going to rain? Is everybody going to show up? You know, those are the type of things you can't control. You just got to kind of put yourself out there. And
So how does this particular event benefit the kids?
So first and foremost, we will do a lot of different activities over the course of the next couple months. We'll do school visits. We're going to do different activities with DTLR, Custom Ink, and we have even more interest from a couple of other businesses that want to do things in their community. So the idea of it right now is coordinating schedules. How can we do work in Fort Worth, carry it over the next day, do work in Irving, have these different activities where we're teaching the kids things that they can take with them and run through the rest of their life with, whether it's something small like networking. Go learn how to network at 10 and understand how to create a relationship so that by the time you get 18, one, people don't think you're a jackass. They think you're a good person. They think that you have some good morals. And then more people will be, you know, open to listen to you. Me, I learned the hard way. I was the opposite. You know, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. I don't care if you know, how it sounds, how it looks. And that was because I wasn't a people person. I didn't have any social skills that actually would invite people to listen to me when I was growing up. It was competitive. Oh, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, and then I'm going to go prove it to you, which I did a good job of backing it up, but that doesn't create a team. That's not how you get things done. And then you get into this real world, these businesses like we have to do now, and then it's all about your reach. It's all about your connections, and it's all about the people that support you. So for me, it was tough to make that transition between a kid, an athlete, a business owner, a dad, and which is what led me to start jumping into these communities like that.
So where did this passion to help kids come from?
Crazy enough, I had a youth event activity when I was 17. So I got picked to go play on this national team in Hawaii. And the only way I could go is if I raised enough money to go. And so what I did was I hosted an event. And the event was a basketball event. I had kids from all over the area within an hour radius come. And I raised enough money. But there was something that happened at the event. And it was I can't remember the exact details, but some little kids got into it. And we had a character timeout. And I don't remember. I'm 17 years old, man. I had no clue what I was actually doing. I run out on the court. I said, hold on. We're going to have a character timeout. And we literally brought the entire room to a standstill and talked about what we were here for. And from that moment, man, I was like, well, if that's the only way I can get the message across, then maybe I just need to have more events, more opportunities, and just stop everything and let's talk about something that's important.
So one of the passion topics that you had is it possible for you to have a for-profit like entity and actually help at the same time? And that's why I asked that question. I was like, is this part of your nonprofit or whatnot? Where do you want to start with that?
First and foremost is time.
Yeah.
They got to have time to listen. You know, like I've met a lot of people, not just in one location, but in its entirety, especially LinkedIn. They have their tunnel vision. And so when you're trying to get someone to do something, the first thing you want them to do is just listen. And a lot of people, when they think about me originally, kids. Oh, well, kids, charity. Well, charity, backpacks, turkeys, you know, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, not even close. Like, let's go not just to the hood, but let's also go to the outskirts.
Yeah.
Let's be able to be diverse. Let's help kids that don't have a dollar. And then let's help these kids that have a dollar, but they don't have substance, or they don't have certain things in their character that make them a little bit more approachable. And, you know, from there, it's just been about finding the right people that, one, will listen, and two, have alignment, you know, because I've met some really good people. It's just not their thing. Tom Brady doesn't do kid events in the NFL. He's not a kid person. It's just not what he does. He can't go and sit up here and just, you know, play with a kid for 5-6 hours. And so he doesn't do kid events. So I had to learn that just because someone doesn't want to do anything with the kids doesn't mean that they can't still affect the kids in an impactful way. And so, it really depends on the location, depends on the circumstances that we're fighting for. And then from there, God leads everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like this many people here speaking in one night, I don't know how I did that. I have no clue.
I don't know how you did it either,
I have
man.
no
It's
clue.
good. So, like, let's say that we have a corporate company listening right now, and they want to get involved, they want to help, but they don't know where to start. Like,
So
how
the
would
first thing
start?
they need to do is understand what it is that they want to accomplish. Okay. Then of course they know their budget, but how does that budget affect what you're doing? So if you're going to an event, say you're putting $1,000 up, does that $1,000 actually make it change? Is it going to take an event into another space? Is it going to take the cause into another space? Because if you're not, then you really just you can go write that off another way. In my opinion, outside of the actual write-off, how much is it going to take, and how can we leverage what we have in assets? You don't have to just spend money. There's a phone call you can make. There's an email you can send out. There's an announcement. Some people in this room today have 50,000 followers on Instagram. One message can change exactly the outcome of anything. Use what you got. That's the first thing is use what you got. And then secondly, let's find a way to be innovative. I love STEM, and I think STEM is something that is going to be huge. But right now, 52% of kids can't read, can't count in 8th grade. So STEM is kind of like a far-fetched goal if the kids can't do the basic things. And that's 7th and 8th graders. So how worse can it get once you get in high school, and when you were in 7th and 8th grade you couldn't read a Dr. Seuss book? That's the thoughts that I manifested so far.
What kind of impact have you seen whenever companies partner with you as a result of like getting engaged with you and your mission, your purpose? How does it affect their staff and their teams?
Well, it gets their endorphins going. They start thinking, and they go and do more. And for me, I don't care if you work with me or if you work with Joe Blow down the street. Just go do it. Like I'm not going to solve anything. And at the end of the day, what we are going to accomplish will be more hands on deck, and it solves itself. The person with the money is going to do what they need to do with the money. The person with the assets and the resources, they're gonna eventually know how to utilize them. Think about it as a basketball team. I like LeBron. So wherever LeBron goes, I'm right there with him. It took time to get it all together with no matter where he goes. When he was with the vets, when he's with the young guys, when he was by himself, it was a process. And as you grow, you learn what you can and can't do, and that's the biggest thing. Letting people lead themselves, not feeling like, hey, this is how you have to do this, or the podcast isn't going to work. No, hey, well, let's have a podcast, and then let's let the podcast people do what the podcast people do. And I think that it's so simple science. We used to have this thing when I played, do your job. That's how we broke every huddle. Do your job. You do your job, everything works fine. You don't do your job, you be like some of these teams that are under 500 or don't win a game, or whatever the case may be, go bankrupt, whatever. Just do your job. And if I can continue to get people to do their job, the only thing I have to worry about is doing mine, man. I'm happy with that. I'm real happy with that. We need more hands on deck. That's the thing. We get into that point where we can give professionals something that they can do that doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
That's really what I think is the cool part. I get to take my kids all over the country.
Yeah.
And I get to do stuff with them that I would have never got to do, I didn't get to do.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't even be able to do it if I wasn't doing this type of stuff. So I enjoy it.
I love it. So Ron, before we close out here, educate us a little bit more about the problem. Like, you're here on the front lines of this stuff. What is the biggest challenge that you're seeing with our youth, and how are you solving that problem?
Too much personal everything. Too much personal gain, too much personal altercations. It's not focused on the kids. That's just it right there. It's not focused on the kids. And at the end of the day, if we can focus on the kids and worry about, okay, here's what's going on in South Dallas, here's what's going on in North Dallas, focus on that, it makes everything else make a lot of sense. We start talking about political parties, start talking about race, religion, who's in charge, then, man, it just becomes exactly what it is. And I think that's the nicest way to put it. We can get some straight line synergy, we'll be fine. And for me, it's just getting the word out. It's starting to talk about it more, being more active on social media.
Yeah.
I got to start doing all of those things. And so now I feel pretty comfortable in Dallas. I think that the next step is just finding the right collaborative partners in everything that I do.
Yeah.
And we'll have days like this, and it'll be even better.
Well, Ron, let's get the message out, man.
Yeah.
Seeing is believing, and you have an amazing event here. The caliber of
Thank you.
individuals are absolutely incredible. So tell us how to connect with you, how to support the mission, the purpose, everything that you're doing.
Okay, so social media, Digs Impact, that's DIGSIMPACT. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, and it's digsimpact.org on the website. On LinkedIn, you can find me and connect with me. We can do everything from a nonprofit all the way. We can do everything from a nonprofit to a startup, and we've worked with different groups like Under Armour and Salvation Army, Boys and Girls Clubs all over the country. So don't assume. Call. Let's have a conversation. The number is on the website. Let's actually look at what you want to accomplish. Let's find out what, as a company, you struggle with, because nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
There's guys losing billions of dollars a day or a year or whatever it is that they got going on. So clearly, there's always room for us to get better. And I might be a mouse, but I've been hanging out in this jungle for a while. So I feel pretty confident that as I create these opportunities and have other people believe in me, that we'll be successful.
I love it. Well, Ron, I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We'll have all your contact information in the show notes. So everyone else, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Pathways to Success podcast. As always, make sure to subscribe, comment, and share. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Pathways to Success.